Hi everybody, this is God's Girl G, and thank you so much for joining me today. For those who are new to my channel, welcome. And for those of you returning to this channel to view this video and you're not already subscribed, I'm going to encourage you to do so by clicking the subscribe icon below. And if during the course of this video you hear something that you like, click the thumbs up, comment below, or better yet, share this video with someone who you feel could benefit from this information. With that stated, let's get into today's discussion. So here's one of the most common questions that I get into my godsgirlg@gmail.com email account. How do you know if the person that you're dating has too much emotional baggage to be in a relationship? Now, I feel that many of my single subscribers and friends ask this question because they feel all of this chemistry with the other person, and their brain keeps telling them that the person must be their soulmate because of how strong this chemistry is. But there's another practical side. They just wish the person would treat them better. So for all of you single people out there, does that sound familiar? The truth is that we all have emotional baggage or have carried emotional baggage at some point in our lives. Each one of us has a past. And our past can influence our emotions, reactions, and decisions that we have present day. Often people go into a relationship with the best intentions, thinking that any hardships will be overcome because they believe love conquers all. Now, love for each other is a very important element, but love and attraction is only one part of the equation. The other part is compatibility. Now, I did a video on this a while ago that's talked about chemistry versus compatibility. So if you haven't already checked that video out, you might want to take a peek at it. I share some really good information in there. But outside of chemistry and compatibility, there's another element, and that's called relationship readiness. And relationship readiness is all about being ready and available for the kind of relationship you really want. So when we think about emotional baggage and relationship readiness, yeah, there's a correlation. Because there is a such thing as having too much emotional baggage to be ready for a relationship. But here's the thing. You get to decide what's too much emotional baggage for you. You decide this by getting clearer on your relationship vision, needs, and relationship requirements. But before I go any further, let's park here for a minute and really talk about and define what is emotional baggage. Emotional baggage is a common metaphor that refers to negative, unprocessed emotions from past experiences. And all types of emotional baggage, if not taken care of, can negatively impact your present situation. That means your relationships, your friendships, your family relations, your career, etc. Now, there are 4 types of emotional baggage that I want to describe in this video, but I am sure many of you can come up with some additional descriptors for emotional baggage. But for this video, I'm only going to talk about 4. 1, there is the baggage of guilt. For example, you might be feeling guilty from a former relationship, perhaps because you cheated on the person that you were with. And now you feel guilty and you carry that guilt into your new relationship. Baggage number 2, the baggage of regret. You may have regretted something that you said to your previous partner, which caused the relationship to end. And you carry that regret with you into, you guessed it, the current relationship. So you're constantly worried and you choose your words very, very carefully. Then there's the baggage of fear. Now, I've had this baggage myself. An example of this baggage is that maybe in the past you had a relationship with someone who cheated on you, and now you're fearful of getting cheated on again by the current person that you're with. And then there's the baggage of relationship PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, many of you are already familiar with that term PTSD, but I truly believe many of you fail to recognize that you might be suffering from relationship PTSD. Experiencing any traumatic event in life can cause you to develop PTSD. Childhood abuse, a car accident, domestic violence, and toxic relationships. For example, an abusive relationship, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical abuse, can lead to PTSD because the traumatic events that took place during the former relationship can cause symptoms long after that relationship is over. And guess what? You can carry it into the current relationship. So now that we've talked about some types of emotional baggage, let's now shift gears and talk about some signs that the person that you're dating or interested in has too much emotional baggage for a relationship. Now, it can be easy to mistake emotional baggage with the person not being interested in you. But how can you tell the difference? Well, I'm hoping that these signs that I'm getting ready to share will help you decipher the difference. And by the way, these signs can show up in any age group. Sign number 1, mixed signals. Now, I know we've talked about mixed signals before. I did a full video on mixed signals, but let's peel back the onion on this one when it comes to emotional baggage. A person who is really interested in you will pursue you for a relationship, period. They'll call, there'll be regular dates set up, and if they're busy, they will let you know when they have time to speak with you again versus kind of leaving you hanging. When you date somebody that's relationship ready, you usually never have to ask them where this relationship is going. A person who has too much emotional baggage will send mixed signals. They will disappear without communicating for days or even weeks at a time, and then suddenly come on strong as if nothing has happened. On a date, they will be completely into you, but then they won't call or accept another date, just again, mixed signals, see? So that's the first sign, mixed signals. The second sign is that they usually are asking you or wanting you to change. Pay attention to how they respond to your requests. If the person makes an effort to honor your requests, then they're usually looking to win your heart. But a person with too much emotional baggage will argue with you about your requests or your feelings. They might even accuse you of being high maintenance. But here's a tip. When you have a strong sense of self, you're better equipped to pass on anyone who's too controlling or has too much emotional baggage for a relationship. There, I said it. Sign number 3, they don't respond well to your feelings. Now listen up on this one. This is a classic sign of too much emotional baggage. Some people are not as in touch with their emotional side as others. That makes them maybe a little judgmental about how your emotions are expressed. When a person is uncomfortable with your emotions and tries to argue with you about how you feel or downplays your response, they may have too much emotional baggage for a relationship. Sharing our feelings helps us create connection with someone. And if the person that you are with are unable to share their emotions, or they don't want to hear about yours, honey, that's a sign. Too much emotional baggage. A person who can't handle your emotions certainly can't handle their own. The right person will hold space for you and your emotions. Sign number 4, they shut down in the face of conflict and refuse to work through problems. Now, it's normal. Most people are conflict avoidant. It's common to dislike drama in a relationship. Constant conflict can be a sign that the two of you are not compatible. However, conflict is a natural part of two people growing closer together in a relationship. After all, you're in a relationship with someone who is completely different than you. There's going to be conflict. Conflict can be a doorway to a deeper connection when it is expected and handled consciously. You both have to be willing to work through the challenges. Now, if they shut down in a conflict and refuses to discuss the issues, then they have too much emotional baggage for a relationship. Avoiding conflict and negative emotions is a sign of someone who is afraid of doing the deeper work together. People with emotional baggage are still capable of finding love again. And the difference between those who do and those who don't is pretty simple. The ones who end up happy are the ones who put the baggage of bitterness and anger down. The ones who stop thinking like a victim and find the guts to go out and find the life that they want. Prayer, counseling, and time will help you free yourself from your emotional baggage. For those of you asking the question, should I date someone who has emotional baggage? Well, in the ideal world, the answer would be no. However, given that no one is ever really free from emotional baggage, you included, and the fact that it's not always possible to recognize when someone has emotional baggage unless you spend significant time with them, the possibility that you will end up dating someone with emotional baggage becomes reality. So since we all at some point will bring emotional baggage into a relationship, then the crucial question that you should be asking, should you stay in the relationship or move on? The answer to this question, my friends, lies in how you and the person you are dating are able to deal with the emotional baggage. Thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bye.